again as it curls up here. You know, it had a gap pre-market but pulled back. The high right now is 580. Volume on it's 800,000 shares. There is news on it today, but it's just that they've named a CFO. That's not the absolute. You know, later in the morning we could get a break of VWAP setup and another attempt at a squeeze up towards 850. So let's watch job on resumption. The halt time was 37:45. Resumption should be 42:45, so about 15 seconds away. The pre-market high on this is 215, so 215 would be a reasonable profit target, I think. I'll watch it on resumption. Again, you know, I feel like I've missed the majority of the move, but if it does a good dip, then I could always do a dip trade. So watch here, sellers at 2. There it goes, 205. I'm not in, I'm just watching. 204, 205. I'm not in, I'm just watching. 204, 205.
Aló.
800,000 shares. Another. You know, later in the morning we could get a.
Aló.
$800,000 shares. Another. You know, later in the morning we could get a.
Aló.
$800,000 shares. Another. You know, later in the morning we could get a.
Aló.
$800,000 shares. Another. You know, later in the morning we could get a.
Aló.
$800,000 shares. Another. You know, later in the morning we could get a.
Aló.
$800,000 shares. Another. You know, later in the morning we could get a.
Aló.
$800,000 shares. And if it does give a really big panic flush, I could always do another trade. Another. You know, later in the morning we could get a So resumption is going to be in about. And if it does give a really big panic flush, I could always do another trade. The halt time was 37:45. Resumption should be 42:45. So about 15 seconds away.
All right, so what's the float on this? This is a recent IPO breakout setup. Did it halt going up?
215 would be a reasonable profit target, I think.
So I see that recent IPO breakout setup. It's very similar to the one we traded yesterday.
I've missed the majority of the move, but if it does a good dip, then I can always do a dip trade. So watch here. Sellers at 2. There it goes, 205. I'm not in. I'm just watching 204.
I can't remember the symbol.
205.
But LG, thank you, LGHL. So yeah, an LGHL unfortunately sold off a little bit yesterday afternoon. It really needed to hold up a bit better. But yes, I do see this setup, but I would need to see a little bit more volume come into it because right now it's only got 105. Now it's got 280,000 shares.
204.
So I'd like to see, you know, closer to 500,000 shares of volume to feel more confident on it. We've got about 40 seconds to resumption on that other stock job. EBON flushed down there to 445. 800,000 shares. That was, you know, a pretty nasty drop right there. The high is 520. The all-time highs are 523. You know, so
later in the morning.
Let's watch job for a second on resumption, and then maybe we'll come back to that other one. So job 215 is the halt level. I'm going to put an order at 225. If we get a high open and all I'm seeing is green, I'm going to add. Because it did dip. Even though it's a third halt, 800,000 shares. I'm adding at 26. So on this one, I'm just going to try to ride that momentum. This thing is so strong. Over 30 is another add. Watch down here. Adding at 21. I'm buying that dip right there, and I'm wanting this to rip back up over 25. So I'm holding at 13. There's 30.